All right, I'm excited for this. What's up, guys? So, Sergeant Swag here, coming at you guys today. I'm going to be doing a first ever video on my Pokemon cards for my YouTube channel. I really want to start making a lot of videos for Pokemon cards, and sharing my collection and hopefully a bunch of other things. So, this is my favorite card in my collection right now. This I thought would be the best way to start off everything because there's a lot of cool information on this card that I think not a lot of people know. So I think a lot of people find very interesting. This is a 2005 Japan Japanese Gold Star Kyogre hollow. Obviously, you could see the hollow is insane on this card, and this is not hollow bleed. This is meant to be like this. So they were all meant to have hollow all around here, which is just insane. This is from the Holen Research Tower Japanese set. You would know this as EX Delta species in English. They have their own little sets in Japan, so they're a little bit different. This is a Gem Mint 10. This is the highest grade that you could possibly get from PSA. So I'm actually going to take this out of this little compartment here. I put everything in protective plastic all the time so that they don't scratch, but we'll take it out for this special occasion. Oh, what a beautiful. It's like I don't know, it's like getting naked, it just like feels good. Uh, anyway, yeah, no. So here's the card. Absolutely gorgeous. I love every single thing about everything in the Gold Star series. Now, the Gold Star is not one series of cards. It's in a whole edition of cards from the EX era, we call it, in the Pokemon world. So that's going to be your 2004 to like 2007, 8-ish era. It's going to include like Dragon Frontiers. I'm talking about for English sets. It's going to include like Dragon Frontiers, Team Rocket Returns, Delta Species, Holen Phantoms, things of that nature. Now, this PSA case I find very interesting. I'll tell you why. First of all, it's an older certification number. I like the older certs because they kind of just show a little bit of history, in my opinion. I try to avoid getting new PSA cards when I can, which is weird because it seems like from other collectors they like to get the newer ones because it has less scratches or whatever. But I like it. This obviously is in perfect condition. There's really no scratches on the case, so that's nice. But what I think is interesting about this case is that there's two PSA certifications on here, which is really weird. No other time frame has it. It's super weird. It's like I can only find it in 272 are like the only ones that have this. It's like a really short period of time they had two PSAs on the front, which I thought was interesting. I thought it was counterfeit for a minute. I had to like look it up and everything. And it's also a lot more bold than your typical PSA writing. So I'm actually going to set this down for a second and grab another one so you can compare. Watch this. Okay. I'll do this one. All right. We're going to take a look at my Suicune. And I'll kind of compare them. You'll see that I'm not going to take the Suicune out of the plastic. But you'll see the Suicune's text is vastly more skinny. It's not bold. And they did this weird, bold 2 PSA thing for a very short time. I don't know how many cards have it, but not many. So it's kind of cool. It's a little, a little interesting thing, little quirky things like that I really like because you can't replicate this. They won't do this again. For now, they haven't done anything like this. It's cool to have. Let me just tuck myself in here. So yeah, Gem Mint 10, highest grade that you could get possible. So obviously the card's in amazing condition, unless you send it to Beckett and get a black label, of course. Now, that would be really cool if I could get a black label from Beckett, but I'm not going to risk it. However, it would be really cool to have it. So there's a lot of things to talk about with this card. Kind of where I want to get started is you may have seen these cards online. There's not many of them. There's very limited amounts of them. And you will see that usually on the top here, they have more of like a cluster of different things going on here. It's first edition and it's all squeezed together and it's like kind of cramped. And that's because there's first edition versions of this card. This one is not a first edition. That's very important. There's first edition versions of this card around. And I wrote down the exact number. There are, and I'll prove it later in the video, 138 first edition Kyogre Gold Star 10s running around. I'm sorry, 138 just gold stars. I said 10. I didn't mean to say 10. 108 of them are PSA 10. Now, unlimiteds. This one's an unlimited, and I'll get back to why I put quotations on that. There's only 19 of these in the world, and 12 of them are 10, and I have one. And the common misconception is that first edition is rarer. That's true for English and European, and maybe most Japanese. But for this set, the story's different. Pokemon decided to do a first edition release of these cards, the Hoenn Research Tower, at the time in 2005. And they said, well, you know what? If it's doing well, then we'll print more and we'll use them as unlimiteds. And Pokemon was doing terrible at the time. I feel like Pokemon's always doing terrible anytime past base set. But they were doing bad at the time. So they did an unlimited release of this for a very, very short time. It's like almost mythological. Like they just barely did a run of unlimiteds and then they cut it. And they were like, all right, next thing, because they just weren't doing well at the time. So they decided to go ahead and just move on. So there's a very, very, very short run of unlimiteds out there. And people think that the first editions are more desirable and rare, and maybe they're more desirable because they say first edition on them, but they're not necessarily more rare. And whether that holds up in a resale market or not, I don't care personally. I just wanted to grab it for myself because I thought it was really cool that there was such a low amount of these in the world. And it just looks way better. The first edition badge, in my opinion, is really, really ugly on these. And because it's a first edition, there's more that they have to write up here on the PSA label. So it looks really like a cluster of crap up here to make it look really ugly versus right here, it looks really organized. 2005 PM, Japanese, Gold Star, Kyogre, Hollow, Hoenn Research Tower. It all looks really good. But if you look at a first edition, it's like a ton of stuff up here because they have to cramp a lot. So I have OCD, like crazy OCD. So the first edition badge looks really ugly and it makes all of up here look ugly. So I just don't want it. There's more of them out there. I don't want the higher pop. I'm super into low pops. I really like them. I have a BGS Lugia 8.5 just because there's only 5 of them in the world. Like I'm a big fan of having stuff that's kind of unique in that way. So I went ahead and picked this up. This is my first Gold Star and my only Gold Star for now. I used to have a Gold Star as a kid and I sold it stupidly. It was an English Gold Star Flareon, which a PSA 10 is now running for over $5,000. So that's great. You could tell I'm salty. So yeah, essentially that's my Gold Star. Extremely proud of it. My favorite card. And the illustrator, forgive me for butchering his name, is Masakazu Fukuda, if I'm not mistaken, if that's how you say it correctly. I apologize if I got that wrong. We'll just call him Mr. Fukuda. But yeah, so his first illustrations were featured in the EX Team Rocket set. That was 2004. So it's kind of like the beginning of his journey with Pokemon. And he was kind of assigned the Gold Stars. Pokemon came to him. They said, all right, we need you to do Gold Stars. We need you to kind of exaggerate some of the features of the Pokemon. And we want you to move stuff outside of the lines a little bit. We want you to literally go outside the box, think outside the box. So that's exactly what he did. He did exactly what they told him to do. He wanted to exaggerate different features throughout the Pokemon for the Gold Star series. And obviously they have crazy colors because they're shiny Pokemon. And pieces of their body stick out. So if you look at any of the Gold Stars, pieces of their body will stick out, whether it's an arm, a claw, a hand, or whatever, a foot. This one, it's the hand of Kyogre. And so he had the Gold Stars Mudkip, Trico, and why am I blanking on the other one? Mudkip. I'm sorry. In the Team Rocket set. That was kind of his first thing. And he's been with Pokemon ever since. So if you go and buy modern Pokemon cards, you'll still see his name on there. Fukuda is still designing cards. He's still kicking ass out there. So he's been with Pokemon for 16 years. And yeah, all the Gold Stars are his creation. I would say they're like his legacy. The Gold Stars, in my opinion, they're the best work that, in my opinion, Pokemon has ever done with the TCG, especially when you do not count Wizards of the Coast. It's just such a great set, and I really want to have them all. Obviously, my favorite one is the Rayquaza Gold Star. I really want a Japanese Unlimited one. They're running about $5,000-$6,000 right now, so it's not really easy to get my hands on one, but it's definitely on my to-do list. But absolutely amazing cards. You have the Charizard from this set. That is the Black Charizard, the first time Black Charizard has ever shown up on a card, which is really cool. You do have Shining Charizard from the Wizards of the Coast era, but back in the Wizards of the Coast era, second generation, Shining Charizard was actually purple with green wings. And if you look at that card carefully, you will see that it is not black. It is a purple Charizard. So very cool stuff there. I just absolutely love the history behind this card and how it's a little bit rarer. It's like switched around. It's like the Unlimited's rarer instead of the first edition, and people haven't really realized that and caught on to it yet. I picked up this card for $800 on about November time, 2020. We're dealing with the boom of Pokemon right now with Gary V, Logan Paul, Logic. Everybody's jumping in on it. The DJ guy. Why am I blanking on his name? But yeah, there's everybody's on it. But yeah, so yeah, what I find very interesting is Fukuda's favorite Pokemon is Lugia. And I don't know if this has been done on purpose, but it's pretty much one of the only cards he hasn't illustrated. He has not made a Lugia. They should have made a Gold Star Lugia and Ho-Oh. They would have been so crazy cool. Can you imagine a Gold Star Lugia card? Oh my god, that would have been amazing. So, that would have been so cool. So for whatever reason, they didn't make a Gold Star Lugia. I'm glad they made a Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza though. That's the best. I really like that. I just love this card so much. Everything about it is just so cool, and I just love the history behind the Gold Stars. So yeah, he hasn't made a Lugia Gold Star, which is super weird. But yeah, he still works for Pokemon today. Still hasn't made one. So yeah, that's kind of my little quick history lesson and my quick share on the Kyogre Gold Star. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash that like button if you enjoyed and want me to make more videos like this. Just kind of showcasing my collection and doing like a quick little history lesson here. I do run into these on YouTube sometimes with some different cards, and they're probably my favorite videos because it's all about the collecting is like, there's the rarity and the pop and all that and, the nostalgia, but there's a history behind these cards. So I think it's important for us to know them because that's what makes them so cool. And that's what really makes them come alive, in my opinion. So yeah, 272. So I imagine this was probably certified around the time it came out, 2005. I don't know exactly when 272 was, but yeah, there are only 12 of these in a PSA 10. Very proud owner of one. I am looking for the Groudon Unlimited. I will buy a first edition reluctantly if I have to. I don't want to because I want them to match, and I'm very OCD. So I want a 10 Kyogre Unlimited if anyone out there has one for sale. There's only 9 of them in the world. So there is a guy who wants to sell one right now on eBay, but he's asking $2,000 for it, which is ridiculous for right now's price range. Now, I don't think it's not worth $2,000. I just think it's just not there yet. Because I bought this for $800. So I think the card that he has is worth about $800, $900, maybe $1,000. And so I messaged him. I said, yo, I'll give you $1,100 for it. I'm not even trying to haggle you. You're way overpriced on it. It's worth about $800. I'll give you $1,100. If you were smart and actually wanted to sell it, you would take the $1,100 and just go with it. And the last known sale for it, I think it was like $500 a couple months ago. And that was in a first edition. So it's a really good price. There's like a little nick down here. I don't know why this is a little plastic thing here. But yeah, he should have took it. But I don't think he actually wants to sell it. I think he's kind of just listing it just to kind of like see if anybody bites. I don't blame him for not wanting to sell it. So that's kind of where we're at right now is like a standstill. I don't want to fess up the $2,000 because I just don't have it right now. I've bought other cards. I have been working on Gym Challenge set. It's probably my favorite set. But my favorite set of cards is the Gold Star, but they're not a set. They're spread out through like 6 different sets or whatever. So it's not really a set. But anyway, that's my quick little history lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe. And just so you guys can see for yourselves, I just kind of want to prove myself real quick, my credibility here, so you guys can see for yourselves that the pops on this card is, as of right now, 138 on a Gold Star First Edition. 138. 108 of them are PSA 10. 12 of them, Unlimiteds, are PSA 10. 19 of them in the world. No BGSs exist. As far as I know, there's no CGCs that exist for Unlimited. Okay. This is Mr. Fukuda's list of cards he's illustrated for Pokemon, which is really cool. It's like a couple pages long. And if you go to the L section, there is no Lugia card, which is really crazy to me. Very interesting. You'll see all of his gold stars here. His Latias gold star card is so epic. It's so cool. I personally think the Japanese gold stars absolutely destroy in every way, shape, and form the English versions, the English counterparts, because of the silver bordering. And I just love Japanese Pokemon cards. It's the original language of Pokemon. They're cheaper. They're more limited. They're better quality. Like every reason in the world to collect Japanese cards. Super cool. So I'm going to go ahead and put this guy back in here because I am superstitious that I'm going to drop it and ruin it. So let's put him back in there. So I will see you guys next time. Please encourage me to make more of these videos. I really do want to make them. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in.